Hey guys, Cody Barton here. Welcome to my channel. And I get the question asked all the time, should I go and work for another company and maybe just do acquisitions, or should I start my own company and build out my own real estate investing business? And the answer to this is going to vary based on you as an individual. It's not going to be a cookie cutter, one size fits all approach. So it's something that you have to really consider for yourself. And this video, I'm going to share with you a few key points that I think are important to consider, whether you're going to go the acquisition, work for a company route, or build your own business route. So the first thing that I would just wanted to address is that this entrepreneur thing is so sexy and cool and amazing, and it's, promoted all over Instagram. Everybody is CEO in their Instagram bio, and all of that. They own their own business, and it's really gotten to be this cool thing. It doesn't really have to be the thing that you go and build your path around. If you don't want to be an entrepreneur, don't feel pressured socially to become an entrepreneur, because there's plenty of individuals that work within companies and that make a lot of money and that invest smart and that become financially free because they were in a position with a great company to be able to grow and build their own future. Now, I don't want to discourage you of, hey, don't go start your own company, or hey, you should go work for somebody. I just want to give you some insight just to consider, because I do obviously myself have a real estate investing business, and I have a lot of friends that have real estate investing businesses as well. So I know generally what a lot of the acquisition people make. And so from my experience, I have some friends that they pay a small base plus commission, and then I have some friends that they pay only commission, but it's a higher commission rate. And so the ranges that I've seen is typically on the low end. Reps are making, usually where there's a base plus commission involved, they're making anywhere from 70 to 100 grand a year if they're all commission, where it's a higher commission. But if they're not producing, obviously they're not getting as anything, right? They can make upwards of $200,000 a year or $150 a year, right? So it really just depends on the individual, their drive, their work ethic, and their true hunger that they have. But that's a great amount of money, whether you're on the end of 70, 80 plus thousand a year, upwards of $150 to $200,000 a year. That's a lot of money to be able to be making and not have the overhead of an actual investing business. Because here's the thing. There's a lot of people that promote on Instagram and that promote on social media. I have a business that does $100,000 a month. And it, from the outside looking in, it's like, wow, they're making $100,000 a month. They're not really making that. That's the gross revenue. We're talking gross, but what really matters is the net revenue. So let's take the example. If you wanted to go work for a company, and let's say that you wanted to make $200,000 a year, you can do that in a lot of different, really great companies in the real estate investing space if you work really hard. And you don't have, again, the overhead that the owners of that company would have. And so looking at the numbers, if you wanted to personally take home $200,000 a year in your own real estate investing business, and I'm just talking wholesaling real estate, just wholesaling, right? Not fix and flip, rentals, all the other stuff. But if you wanted to take home 200 grand a year and you are the sole owner of that business, you're probably going to need to be bringing in revenue-wise a year anywhere from on the better end of $500,000 to upwards of $650,000 a year. Your company needs to bring in for you to take home $200,000 a year. So you have to produce, 2-3x of that as a company owner for you to net $200,000 a year. So that's one of the things to consider, is you have to build a company around that to get it to a point of a higher revenue range for you to obviously be able to net take home less, because obviously you have the marketing costs. You're probably going to have some staff costs and overhead and other miscellaneous expenses that are going to come into play. So that obviously eats into the margins, versus versus where if you're just a single salesperson working in the business, you're just getting paid on that commission and you don't have that same overhead. And now I don't want to discourage if you want to start your own, wholesaling business, because there are a lot of other revenue streams within the business for you to make a lot of money. Because if you're wholesaling, as the owner, you get to pick which of those properties you take down to fix and flip and make more money. And then you get to choose which of those properties to cherry pick to take down yourself as rentals and build that long-term residual income and that long-term appreciation on that property. So you do have a lot of benefits as the owner of the business as well. So I don't want to discourage from owning the business, because obviously that's what I do, and that's, it makes sense for the situation that I'm in because of the goals that I have. Now, a few questions that you can ask yourself as well is, hey, do I want to work realistically 6-7 days a week? When you see me making these YouTube videos, I'm usually making them on a weekend because I run businesses during the week. And, oftentimes those businesses bleed over into the weekend where I have to do work on the weekend because there's more work to do, there's more things to do, there's new systems that need to be put in place. And sometimes I don't have all the time in the week to get everything that I wanted to or needed to done. So it has to roll into the weekend. If you're somebody that just wants to work 5 days a week and you're not like, I don't want to work the weekends, you're probably a better fit in that sales role. And not to say as the owner you don't have to, or that you have to work every weekend. I don't work every weekend, but there's a good amount of weekends where I'm definitely putting in some additional time and effort so that work can reflect when I go back to work during the week and be able to get a head start on the week. So a few questions that you got to ask yourself if you're going to become the owner of one of these businesses, a wholesaling real estate business, is can you hold yourself accountable? If you don't have a boss that's holding you accountable for the sales that you're making or just how your business is running, can you honestly tell yourself that you would be able to hold yourself accountable and do all of the right things to consistently get real estate deals coming into the pipeline and for your business to consistently make money? So that's a question that you should ask yourself. One of the other questions to ask yourself is, would you know what to do financially and budget? Do you know how to budget? How are your personal finances? Because that's going to be a good reflection of how that starts to transition to your business. If you don't have your personal finances in order, which if you haven't already seen the video I did on my YouTube channel where I talk about how to manage your money like the 1%, we'll pop up that link somewhere here. You can check out that video to get your personal finances in order. But if you don't have your personal finances in order, you're going to take over those bad habits to your business and have a non-profitable business because you're not managing your money properly. So that's another thing that you have to keep in mind. And whether you start a business or not, you need to watch that video that I just told you about, because if you can't manage $1 right, $10 right, how are you going to manage $100, $1,000, $100,000, or $1 million? You have to be able to manage your money properly. I would say the final thing, if you're going to start your own business, is asking yourself, do you want to hire, onboard, manage, train employees that then quit, and then you have to hire new ones, and constantly be going through that? Because that's just reality of being a business owner, is dealing with that with staff that comes and goes. And it's not really a negative or positive, because typically in my experience, every time we have somebody leave and then we replace them with somebody better, our business becomes better, we make more money, and we become even more and more successful. So it's something that's just a reality that you have to go through as you continue to grow your business as the actual owner. So I want to leave it to you to decide. So if you haven't made that full decision, review this video, ask yourself some of those questions. You can, as an acquisition person working for another real estate investor's company, get to the point where you're making multiple 6 figures a year. And if you're investing that money properly and having the right money management system, you can get yourself to become a multi-millionaire by investing it properly. Just as, if you decide to start your own company, you can get to making multiple 6 figures to $1 million plus a year. And then obviously if you invest that money properly, be able to be a multimillionaire. So at the end of the day, that decision is yours, but hopefully this can give you some insight and can kind of open your mind a little bit to what, that could look like on the, sales side if you're working for a company versus, maybe being that business owner and, running the operation. So if you have any questions from this video, make sure, as always, post those in the comment section below. If you did get any value from this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll see you in the next video.